Imagine a world where the internet suddenly stops working. No social media, no emails, no streaming, total silence across the digital universe. It sounds impossible in 2025, right? But what if I told you this fragile reality depends on a hidden network buried deep beneath the ocean floor, stretching across continents, carrying nearly every single byte of information you send or receive? These invisible cables are the true backbone of our connected world, yet almost nobody knows they even exist. In this video, we're diving beneath the waves to reveal the astonishing secrets of the undersea cable network that controls the internet. What are these cables really? Who owns them? How vulnerable are they? And why could a single cut in the wrong place bring the digital world to its knees? The internet is often imagined as this ethereal, wireless cloud floating above us. But the reality is far more concrete, literally. Underneath the vast oceans lie over 400 submarine fiber-optic cables spanning more than 700,000 kilometers. This network connects countries, continents, and billions of people worldwide. They are the invisible threads weaving our global digital fabric. These cables carry over 95% of all international data. Everything from your private messages to stock market transactions depends on them. While satellites handle some data, their capacity is minuscule compared to these undersea giants. But these cables are not simple wires. They are sophisticated constructions layered with protective materials, steel wires, waterproof coatings, and special insulation designed to withstand the crushing pressures and corrosive environment of the deep ocean. Despite this, the ocean floor is a hostile place, full of natural dangers and human threats alike. And yet, despite their importance, most people have never heard of them. It's like the internet's secret skeleton, hidden in plain sight. The technology powering these cables is nothing short of astonishing. They use fiber optics, thin strands of glass that carry data as pulses of light. This method allows information to travel at nearly the speed of light, over thousands of kilometers, with almost no loss in quality. Inside each cable lies a core of these fiber strands, protected by layers of armor. Light pulses carry everything: your videos, voice calls, photos, and even financial transactions, encoded in complex patterns that only specialized equipment can read. What's incredible is the sheer volume. Some cables can transmit terabits of data every second, enough to stream millions of HD movies simultaneously. Imagine an underwater highway carrying the entire digital world's traffic in perfect silence. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The cables don't just lie flat on the seabed. In shallow waters, they're often buried several meters deep to avoid damage from anchors and fishing trawlers. In deep ocean trenches, they are carefully laid along paths that minimize risk from earthquakes and underwater landslides. Ownership of these cables is surprisingly complex. They're not owned by a single entity or government, but by consortia of private companies, telecom giants, and sometimes governments themselves. This creates a web of control and influence that's rarely visible to the public eye, but enormously powerful. Owning a piece of this infrastructure means having a say over the flow of global information, and by extension, power. Countries like the United States, China, and members of the European Union invest heavily in protecting and expanding their cable networks, viewing them as strategic assets as important as military installations. In fact, there's a silent race to build new cables to new regions, ensuring that no one country dominates the vital arteries of the internet. What remains hidden is how this control influences everything from internet censorship to global economics and security. The cables are a silent battlefield for influence and espionage. Despite their toughness, these cables are vulnerable. Shipping accidents, fishing activities, natural disasters like earthquakes, and even deliberate sabotage have caused outages. In 2008, a single earthquake in the Mediterranean caused massive internet disruptions across the Middle East and India. It took days for repair ships to locate and fix the damaged cables, leaving millions without reliable internet access. Repairs are complex and costly. Specialized cable-laying ships must navigate treacherous waters, locate the fault using sonar, retrieve the damaged section, and splice it back together, a process that can take weeks. This vulnerability poses enormous risks, not just for convenience, but for economies and security worldwide. Imagine a coordinated attack on these cables during geopolitical tensions. The consequences could be catastrophic. Behind the scenes, teams of engineers and technicians work tirelessly to monitor, maintain, and repair this invisible infrastructure. They use advanced monitoring systems to detect abnormalities, submarine drones to inspect cable conditions, and deploy ships worldwide to respond rapidly. The scale of this operation is staggering, coordinating international logistics, maintaining delicate equipment in harsh environments, and responding to unpredictable events. Without these silent guardians, the internet as we know it would be impossible. But what if the story of these cables is only half the picture? What about the hidden networks that interact with these cables? Digital, political, and economic systems, shaping how data flows and who gets access. The cables themselves are just the surface of a far deeper, more complex system that controls how we communicate, learn, and even think. As we dive deeper, we'll unravel those invisible systems, exposing the power structures and unseen forces that govern our digital world. Forces that few understand but everyone lives under. While the cables beneath the ocean carry the world's data, an even more invisible system dictates what data travels where, when, and how. This hidden web of algorithms, corporate interests, and government policies controls the flow of information, shaping what you see, hear, and believe. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the invisible infrastructure that controls not just the internet's hardware, but its very soul. The internet's physical backbone is only the beginning. Layered on top is a vast digital ecosystem controlled by a handful of powerful corporations and governments. Search engines, social media platforms, content delivery networks, and data centers form a sprawling architecture that decides what content you get to see. Algorithms analyze your behavior, preferences, and connections in real time, deciding which videos, articles, and ads appear on your screen. This system isn't neutral. It's designed to maximize engagement, sometimes at the expense of truth and balance. Understanding this digital architecture is crucial. It explains why different people see radically different versions of reality online, and how misinformation can spread so quickly. Data is often called the new oil, but its value goes far beyond energy. Every click, search, and swipe creates data that fuels an economy worth trillions. Companies collect, analyze, and trade this data in complex ways, often without your knowledge. This data economy funds free services but also drives surveillance capitalism, where your attention and information become commodities. The cables below feed this data economy, but the control happens in massive data centers and cloud infrastructures that manage, store, and monetize your data. Recommendation algorithms are the unseen curators of your digital life. Whether on YouTube, TikTok, or Netflix, these systems analyze millions of data points to predict what will keep you watching. This power is immense. It determines trends, shapes opinions, and can even influence elections. But these algorithms are secretive, constantly changing, and designed to keep you engaged, not necessarily informed. Control over digital infrastructure translates directly into political power. Governments invest in cyber capabilities to protect their networks, spy on adversaries, and sometimes disrupt rival systems. The internet is a new domain of geopolitical conflict, a digital battleground as critical as land, sea, and air. Submarine cables, data centers, and undersea hubs are strategic assets, and their security is a national priority. The invisible systems controlling our digital world are evolving rapidly. New technologies like quantum computing, satellite internet constellations, and decentralized networks could reshape the landscape. But these advances also raise questions. Who will control these new systems? Will they democratize access or concentrate power further? Understanding the hidden infrastructure beneath our daily lives is the first step in answering these questions. Now that you've glimpsed the incredible and fragile systems that power the internet, it's clear the digital world isn't as invisible or inevitable as it seems. It's a complex web of technology, power, and human effort, shaping every part of our lives. If you want to uncover more hidden systems shaping your world, subscribe to Invisible Systems and join us as we continue to reveal the unseen forces controlling modern life. The more we understand, the more empowered we become. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to hear them.